Almost everything you see on the news is propaganda. Fake, counterfeit, designed not to inform you, but to control and shape your opinion about everything, especially politics. 95% of everything you know about this man is likely false. If you're new to the channel, then welcome to the show. Second of all, I'm Romanian. I've mentioned it before in my previous videos, so Seri, below me, okay? Below me. The man we're talking about today is Călin Georgescu. And no, Americans, it is not Călin Georgescu, okay? It's Călin Georgescu, alright? Moving on. What we know for a fact about this man is that he is an agronomist first and foremost. He graduated the University of Agriculture and Veterinary Science from Bucharest. So I think he knows a thing or two about one of the greatest strengths which Romania has, and that is a rich soil perfect for agriculture. He has also worked at the United Nations as a special rapporteur on human rights and hazardous wastes between 2010 and 2012. He was president of the European Research Center for the Club of Rome from 2013 to 2015 and the executive director of the UN Global Sustainable Index Institute in Geneva and Liechtenstein from 2015 to 2016. He said that when he saw how deep the corruption in the United Nations is and how destructive, totalitarian and globalist the tendencies are inside the Club of Rome and the UN, he decided to resign from both. Other trivial information about him is that he has a black belt in Judo, being a national and Balkanic vice champion back in his youth. He also has a black belt in Karate Shotokan. He runs marathons and does cold plunges from time to time. He comes from a wealthy family of priests and military officers. So in a couple of words, this guy knows his stuff. And as far as I'm concerned, this is where the facts about him end. Everything moving forward is either an opinion, media propaganda, or just his own statements about himself. You also have to realize that here in Romania, the corruption is so deep. In order to get to the root of it, to eliminate it completely, you need to tear down the whole system or to fire at least 75% of all government bureaucrats, arrest all interlopes and most of the oligarchs in Romania. I am a Romanian, and I've lived here all my life, and I know how corrupt our politicians are, how corrupt the judiciary system is, how corrupt the police force is, and how corrupt the media is better than anyone. Romania is so corrupt. It's a miracle it functions at all. Now let's get back to Călin, and I'm asking you this. Why is the whole political system against him? Why is the whole judiciary system trying so hard not to let him run as a president? Why is the whole media portraying him as evil incarnate, inventing stories out of thin air, most of them being debunked as straight up lies, running a 24/7 smear campaign against him and assassination of his character? And why was the presidential election cancelled? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the system is shitting its pants. They know that this guy means business. He cannot be bought, and he doesn't belong to any political party, being an independent candidate. Now, let's debunk the Russia hoax, Romanian edition. For almost 2 months, they cried out that he's a Kremlin puppet, and his campaign on TikTok was funded by Russia, with zero evidence, mind you. But then later it was found out that one of the two largest political parties in Romania, PNL, or the National Liberal Party, was behind the TikTok campaign to boost Călin Georgescu and to split the vote so that they win the election in the end. Gotta love this irony, since he won the election in a landslide. This backfired right in their faces. They also accused him of talking directly to the war criminal-in-chief Benjamin Netanyahu. I also made a video about him. And saying that he will ignore the international arrest warrant if he comes to Romania, also with zero evidence whatsoever. So they cancelled the election, and more or less they admitted this fact coming straight from the mouth of Thierry Breton, former EU commissioner, admitting that the European Union was responsible for the cancellation of the elections in Romania, saying that they will do the same thing in Germany if necessary. Don't believe me? Check out this clip.
Pendant ce temps-là, généralement, il y a des règles démocratiques, il y a des règles, je dirais également...
on voit qu'elles ont un peu sauté.
Ah ben évidemment.
Bienséance.
Donc on est uniquement dans le poids de la parole. Attendons ce qui va se passer. Et pour l'instant, gardons notre sang-froid et faisons appliquer nos lois en Europe lorsque celles-ci risquent d'être circonvenues et que elles peuvent, et si on ne les applique pas, conduire effectivement à des interférences. On l'a fait en Roumanie, il faudra évidemment le faire si c'est nécessaire en Allemagne.
Bro! This idiot just did the biggest Freudian slip in history. Remember kids, arrogance will be their downfall. So, what are my takes on Georgescu? Well, he strikes me as a businessman first and a nationalist second. He does seem genuine at first glance, anti-war, ultra-nationalist, although his rhetoric needs massive improvement. But the fog of the Ukraine war, NATO propaganda, European Union propaganda, and all this smear campaign against him might influence the average gullible imbecile. Thank God Romanians have woken up, and most Romanians are against this corrupt establishment, with massive protests nationwide proving exactly that, demanding their voting rights after the cancellation of the presidential election. Of course, a candidate such as Călin Georgescu will resonate with the Romanian people, since we are 98% Orthodox Christians. Most of us are fiery nationalists. We are sick and tired of the rampant corruption that has rotted out our country for more than 35 years at this point, and we are sick and tired of the European Union keeping us poor by giving millions of euros to our corrupt government so that they adopt EU's globalist policies. Mind you, I'm not endorsing him or anything, because Serei will knock on my door anytime now, since the Romanian government made it a crime to promote or endorse any political candidate. I am a guy who knows that democracy is fake, especially in a country like Romania, where apparently we are a dictatorship of the secret services and we don't even have free speech here. And you know what? I'll say this to Serei. How can I say it in a polite manner? Muie. Okay? Muie. Călin Georgescu portrays himself as a traditional, nationalist, Christian Orthodox man. And he knows that this message will resonate with the Romanian people. My question is he actually telling the truth? Well, in order to find out the answer is if he wins the election. Based on any poll, he most likely will win. And my final question is, why all the fuss against this one man? Well, because Romania is actually the key of preventing World War III I think that NATO and the European Union are trying so hard to make it a reality. Tune into the next video to find out more.
Subscribe, you silly Billy!